Yes.
Hey, greetings. So, what's the subject today?
Who is your father?
It's me.
And he was like, yes, we're back after 3 weeks. Oh, man. It's been too
Oh
long.
man, it's so good to see you guys again.
Yeah.
I've missed you. I've missed you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. This was our little moment. Weekends, not every weekend, but we try. And this is the first time we had to skip a few weekends because life happens.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
And
course.
sorry, we didn't manage to do the 9 or this time slot. We managed to do it a half hour later, but we're here. Better late than
Yeah, we're tired as
not.
fuck, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Of course.
So
let
are we
us
going
say
to
hi
talk
to
about?
the chat. We have Dojo-kun Comics.
Hey,
Hey,
that's good. Hi,
Hey, Dojin Jin.
otherwise known as Brian. Welcome, man.
We
Then
have
we have John Hansen is here. Welcome, John.
Hi, John.
Let me see. David Feed.
Hey, Mr. Feet.
Welcome,
Hey.
Mr. Feed.
Mr. Feet, I'm also here. And Dave is here. Oh, this side.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
What's that about? What's that about, man?
What is this?
Ryu, welcome,
Hi, Ryu.
welcome, Ryu.
Ryu Maverick.
And Alec Horowitz is here. Welcome, sir. Comic Book Villain Day. Yes, today is Comic Book Villain Day. And he asked, "Are you guys in the Netherlands?" Yeah. What gave it away?
Yeah. Was it our Dutch accent?
So you have to do with our silly accents.
You're totally right,
Okay,
Alex.
okay.
Let's go.
Okay, guys. Villain time. So Roland Lammer's favorite villain is Darth Vader.
Or Black Cat or any of those. No, I think I really, really, really enjoy in the comics Doctor Doom.
Yes.
I think it's such a complex character, and he's a ruler of a country. So
Dr. Doom.
yeah, he has so many ways.
I picked the same example, Dr. Doom. He's the perfect villain.
Yeah. Maybe I should look up some comics.
I think I have Doctor Doom here somewhere as well. I placed all my super villains in my cabinet today. And yeah, what can I say about Doctor Doom? He's cool looking. He has kind of Iron Man armor. He uses magic. He's a ruler. So he's viewed as a benevolent ruler for his countrymen or his subjects. But for the rest of the world, he's like a dictator. There's so many facets to this character.
Yeah, but he's a benevolent dictator, right?
Yeah.
Something
It contradicts
like that.
itself a little bit, but yeah, no, Doctor Doom is a great costume. He is a monarch, and I love that. His people love him, but fear him at the same time. So yeah, I don't know. He genuinely lost his people, but under an iron fist or something like that, or iron boot. I think he's great. He's also a megalomaniac.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
And he's the main villain to the Fantastic Four, basically.
Yeah.
Which is quite extraordinary, I think, for a complete superhero team to have one major villain, right?
Well, X-Men have Magneto, basically.
Right, yeah. And then you have the Brotherhood of Magneto. So,
But I do like to have Doctor Doom going head-to-head with the X-Men, or not always fighting. I also have an X-Men comic where he's kind of embracing Storm, and he's trying to save Kitty Pryde. You have those issues.
I remember that one.
And he has diplomatic immunity in the rest of the world. So basically he can do whatever he wants, because that's also how it works in our real world.
Right.
Every diplomat can get away with murder in this world. So yeah, so he also goes against Spider-Man. I like those, those other crossovers, not only the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And just the look of him, he's just phenomenal. But the Fantastic Four have many iconic villains.
Annihilus.
like
And how is it called? Annihilus?
yeah, Annihilus.
Annihilus. That's true.
Annihilus. Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's the name. Yeah, from the negative zone, and you have Mole Man. He's a bit silly, but he's fun, you know. So I had one question, by the way, from someone. Let me see. Boy, you guys are really chatting over here. Oh, let me see. John Hansen asked 2 questions on the topic of villains. Who is your favorite ever?
Ever?
That's difficult. And who's your favorite that you created? Okay, the favorite ever, I don't know. I have to think about that.
Yeah, because it so much depends on the context. For the, some villains are great against, for example, Doctor Doom against the Fantastic Four. But if you place him against another superhero or franchise thing, he doesn't hold up. So then he can't be the best supervillain ever. It's complementary with the.
Yeah, and also depends on the story. On some Spider-Man stories, you have Dr. Octopus, and he's the coolest villain ever for Spider-Man.
I agree.
In that specific scenario, but then you have stories like Kraven the Last Hunter. Then Kraven is just badass. He's the ultimate villain for that story, So it really changes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really difficult question. What is the favorite one ever? Because, like they said, Kraven is such a badass villain.
Yeah.
But again, Doctor Doom as well. So, the Joker, even, at a certain point before he was, how do you say, milked out.
Yeah, and to the question, what's the favorite one that I created? I think the favorite one that I created hasn't appeared yet in one of my comics. He's from this series, Dream Girl Sleeper Agent. This is the first issue, and the second issue, whenever we get to make that one, then he'll appear. He's basically a demon that lives in dreams and causes nightmares. There's this entire world we go to when we sleep, and he's like the ultimate demon there. And he's my favorite creation. But then you have characters like Calamity. I love her.
Calamity is very, very good.
Calamity is fantastic. Phil, let me enlarge this for a moment. Solo layout. That's this lady here.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. She looks like a cool badass.
Yeah, she's high level in powers, and other villains fear her. She's the leader. You can tell, and she rules, and she will play a bigger role in issue 3. And one of the villains that the readers respond very well to is from this series, Earthling. And this villain is called the Carnist. This guy, he's captured here. He's in this facility, and they ask him. Basically, he gets his powers from eating flesh. So they give him a diet of vegetables and fruit. And he demands to have meat because they want information from him. So later on, they give him this pig, and he kills it, and then you get things like this.
Yeah, I wanted to mention this, the Carnist as well, as one of the greatest or the best supervillains in the genuine comics first.
And later on, when
he's so gross.
Yeah, when he gets his powers, then he turns into this.
Yeah.
Fat blob.
Yeah, he's
he's
I like
amazing.
him.
And he just in one of the issues he just whacks everybody with a leg of a horse or something. It's
Yeah.
it's just a cruel, vile, ugly, nasty villain. But there was another one. I don't know if it's published yet, but we were talking about it years ago when you wanted to reboot Genuine Comics again. And there was a super villainess, and she had this empathic abilities. And I thought you had a story for her, and it was such a cool story.
Yeah, I think that was a long time ago, because I completely changed things up. So now we have this super heroine called Love Child. She has these empathic powers, and Calamity back then was the one that it gave these emotion controlling abilities,
And it
and
was
that
set in
changed completely.
it was set in a post-apocalyptic setting, I believe. That most of the superheroes were defeated, or am I
Yeah,
mistaken?
maybe sometime we get there, but that's
But when you explained that, and I thought it's such a great villain to have, empathic powers. Empathic is viewed as a good, positive attribute you have as a human.
yeah.
You are empathic, but to turn these positive attributes into a villain and do villainous things with it, I think that is perfect. And the way you explained it then within the story setting, I still want to see that story. Maybe Lovechild can grow into a super villain
Oh, hey, that's a
and
good
be
one.
this catalyst
Wow.
I'm
of
going all
bad
John
things.
Byrne there, turning every favorite superheroine into a supervillain. He did that with Invisible Woman and with the Scarlet Witch.
It
Yeah,
was quite nice to see the latest What If Marvel series, in which they had Ant-Man turned into into a villain. Of course, we have Yellow Jacket. We have more villains that can shrink down. But the way I don't know, spoiler warning for everybody who didn't see the episode. Um, the way he defeated all the other heroes it's really nice.
cool.
Oh,
That's the spoiler.
not anymore. Well,
Let me
if
see.
you tune into this channel, you will know that you will get spoiled.
We have a
Yeah.
question from Alec. Who do you think has better villains, DC or Marvel?
That's the
DC.
same question. Is
DC.
DC better than Marvel? I think it's Marvel has the best villains.
No way, man. No way. No way.
No? Okay.
Now, listen, my name Darksyde. The name says it all. I'm a big fan of Darksyde, although he is not my the best villain that I like.
No, because Thanos is way better.
No, why? No. Are you crazy? Of course not. No. Thanos can whoop Thanos' ass.
What is the equivalent of the Doctor Doom, DC's Doctor Doom?
Lex
Dr.
Luthor.
Fate?
Lex Luthor? Isn't Kingpin more
Dr. Doom.
equivalent of Lex Luthor?
No, I mean, listen. Well, it depends how you look at it. I mean, when you go through the Monarch thing, with has a how do you say as a ruler? No, that it's not. Then it's not Lex Luthor. But I think Lex Luthor is for me the perfect antagonist for Superman. Although he is human, and Superman is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest superhero ever lived, in my opinion. And I love Lex Luthor before he turned into a businessman. He was just a guy and an inventor in a green suit with a purple green suit, and he has inventions. I love that. I love that he is some kind of a techno wizard. And then later, I believe John Byrne reimagined him as a businessman, and that what he is now, among other things. But when it comes to your question, who is the Doctor Doom? I have no idea, actually.
So that's already 1 point for Marvel.
Well, no. It just only says that the DC doesn't have a Doctor Doom, but it doesn't mean it has worst villains. For
Yeah,
instance, I love the Rogues Gallery from The Flash. I think those are, in my opinion, one of the greatest, gang of super villains that there is in the DC universe. They are very diverse. They hate each other and like each other. The group is very big sometimes. Sometimes there's just 5 guys, but the Rogues mostly are the Wizard. The Wizard. What am I saying? We have a Reverse Flash.
Weather Wizard.
Yeah.
Mirror Master.
Mirror Master. Blizzard. I mean, the Golden Glider, among other
for
things.
me, I think for me the DC villains are kind of too colorful, too clownish sometimes. But it's also because of the heroes. I see the same, and it's a quite nice contrast because the storylines of DC are way darker. So the superheroes and villains are more like gods and monsters, but they're kind of very colorful, clownish with weird names or corny names. But the storylines are like dark, and the Marvel is opposite. The heroes and villains are more grounded. But the storylines are lighter.
Yeah.
No, but in generally speak, of course, there are also silly villains in Marvel, and you have very grounded villains in DC, of course. But just in the extreme.
Yeah.
There's a difference between Marvel and DC. So in that sense, Marvel is more grounded, more set in this reality, basically.
Yeah, I think for me is I like DC universe and villains more. I think that the storylines are way more, not only darker, but only more mature. Look at the Doomsday Clock. Look at Watchmen, right? Those are very impactful. Well, mostly Watchmen.
Yeah, but are these are technically DC, but
they were
not really.
The universe.
Yeah. At some point, with all the crises and all the merging of all the multi-universes, you can say everything.
I'm not sure if you have read all of the Green Lantern stuff, with the Sinestro Corps storylines. Those are pretty dark storylines. And then I read X-Men, and I don't know. It doesn't do it. Marvel doesn't do it for me anymore. I mean, look at, for instance,
let's talk in the 90s, 80s, where we usually find our middle ground, and we because we all agree that comics nowadays shit.
Yes.
Not only on Marvel side, also on DC side.
True. Yeah.
So let's go back of our favorite era of comics.
Yeah, that's probably the 80s, 90s for me.
The era when Taskmaster was still a cool villain.
Yeah.
They completely ruined him.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Miles Quaritch?
No.
David Feet knows him. He's a villain from Avatar, and he's top 3.
So, no, I never watched Avatar. I mean,
must be a good villain. No, I don't know him, David. Sorry, man. And Alex says you don't get more iconic than the Joker.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, a good villain, right? What's a good villain? I think a good villain is someone that complements the hero.
Dracula.
So like
Marvel's Dracula.
Wait,
this is a reprint.
Yeah.
Of the Gene Colan run with Mark Wolfman. This is the color version. I had also the black and white omnibuses. My resolution is shit as usual. But the art, this is old school Dracula.
Yeah.
This is what Dracula looks like, and it looks fantastic.
I have these comics of this Dracula with Gene Nolan in the Dutch version, the old Dutch version. Black and white, no colors. And truth be told, I think they're better than the color versions.
Yeah. This I took because I wanted to have a physical, old comic in my possession, and they look fantastic. This is his classic Dracula with he's truly the Lord of the Vampires. I love that stuff.
But he has also deep emotions. There are storylines he feels for a woman or he has morals as well. He's not just a cold-blooded killer, of course, but not only there's more depth to him. I really like those stories. But Marinus, if you have now the comic conventions or markets are opening up again. I think the first one already was here in the Netherlands. If you find, the hip versions or the old Dutch ones in black and white, I assure you will gonna love those even more than the colored ones.
I have them. I have also the black and white. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna get them. Just go ahead, and I'm gonna, take them.
I have them somewhere here, but I have to search.
Sure.
But yeah, I totally agree with Marinus.
Yeah, and Batman does have amazing villains.
I like the Hush very much. At least the Hush from the Jim Lee storyline.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the first time I ever heard of Hush. I think I thought he was created for that story, but I'm not sure.
There was a question also about any thought from Alec. Any thoughts about Venom? I'm sure we have opinions about that.
Right. Any thoughts about Venom? Okay. Well, you're the Spider-Man buff here, Roland.
Yeah, I also like to know the view of Marinus, but I think we already discussed it. I think Venom is way overused, and he's not a villain anymore. They changed him in a kind of anti-hero into a hero.
Yeah, he got so popular that they use him for everything now.
Yeah. I think you could have done so many things with him, but then they went to the Agent Venom thing with Flash, and it may be nice in the Elseworld storyline, but keep Venom. And of course, they made mistakes with Venom as well with the War of the Symbionts. I don't know. There's a lot of symbiont invasion on Earth. I can't remember the story, and they fucked up the symbiotes. Venom, I think maybe Carnage would be okay, but don't make all these other Venoms. It just doesn't make him unique anymore.
Yeah.
The Essential.
The Essentials. I got all of them. This is the black and white version, and I, for those who love Dracula, black and white is the way to go. It brings the art way more to life. It's more sinister, more darker, more gruesome, if you will. And you can get it relatively cheap.
Yeah. And the artwork, you really appreciate the artwork.
Yeah, it's
cool, man.
Like I said, Gene Colan was made for Dracula. Yes. I mean, just look at this, man. It's just scary stuff. Old school with the face in the mist here, where my pinky is here. It's incredible. It's just there was horror movies back in the day, and then we have, of course, old school Blade in one of his best costumes. It's great. I love it. This it reminds me a lot of those old school Dracula movies that I watched. With from Hammer Studios. With of course Dracula, Van Helsing, and all of the other people like I don't know, Frankenstein and stuff. I just grew up with all of them, and I just love every second of it. This is, like I said, you can get this cheap. How much is this? $17. I mean, you could probably get it now cheaper nowadays. So I believe those are, I don't know, this is volume 3. I got volume 4. I don't know. And there's a lot, more than 24 comics in this in black and white. So if you love this stuff, get it. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
Wow. I love Dracula. So four of those thick books for what's
I believe there are 4, maybe more, or there's 3. Let me double check.
Yeah, but he's basically the villain, right?
Yeah. But it's not only he does good stuff. Well, good, quote unquote. Of course, he does it for his own purpose. But it's stuff. But also the good guys, from Helsing and Blade, they hunting him, and a lot of other people. He meets how do you say? Wolfman, the werewolf. He meets other vampires. He meets Dr. Sun. He is believed a villain from Nova. Frankenstein, of course. A lot of other shit. It's great stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me go to the chat for 1 second. Alex says that Harley Quinn is a favorite. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
cool.
I only appreciate her being played by that actress that playing Harley
Margot
Quinn.
Robbie?
Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah.
I think she's a good actress for that role. I didn't really when the original animated Batman animated series was there. I think she was introduced there.
Mm.
I didn't really like her. I think she was too much a knockoff, the female knockoff of the Joker. But I get now after years she earned her stripes.
Yeah.
But yeah, not mine thing.
Okay.
No. But Dave, let's go back to the original question. What makes a decent villain in your opinion?
Oh right, yeah. A decent villain is a villain that first off complements the hero, so he is necessary for the hero to exist,
Right.
and preferably vice versa. So it's kind of a balance, like Batman, Joker, you know.
Captain America.
And
Red Skull.
the best villains have their own motivations, so they're not just evil because they're evil. These villains can be fun, but the more complex villains are more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think I liked the Winter Soldier to Captain America in the Ed Brubaker story. Is it from him? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was such a good story to read, and really the intrigue and the politics around it, and still, or the espionage. I really like that story, and I also like the Winter Soldier as a villain there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's a villain or a henchman or just an adversary. Because I think with villains, you would seem they are more, operating from their own motivations, and not like the Winter Soldier who is programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for me,
David Feet says Busybody is my favorite Bringverse villain. Thank you. It's the on the boob thing that really works, I think. And then you have Sinestro and Cyborg are my favorite DC ones.
yeah.
Cyborg, that's not a villain, right?
No, I believe do you mean from the Teen Titans? Is that what he probably means? Yeah. Could be.
Because
Not
he's a
entirely sure.
hero.
I don't think. Yeah.
But Sinestro, yeah, Sinestro's cool.
Yeah, I'm Sinestro is. He's just great. He's just great. He's basically he's not the opposite of Hal Jordan. I think he is. They share the same. How do you say? Motive. Although the other one wants to have it in his way, and the other one wants to have it that way. Sinestro wants to have control, wants to rule through fear, and he thinks that fear brings balance to the universe. And with the Green Lantern and Hal Jordan, he thinks, well, that's hope and friendship, etc. And also, I like the fact that Sinestro was the mentor of Hal Jordan before he went rogue with the yellow ring. So it's just great stuff. And but Hal Jordan is not a good guy either. I mean, he went nuts a couple of times and he broke Sinestro's neck. So that was a thing. But it was a great storyline, by the way. And then became Parallax, also a great, extension of what Hal Jordan was. Parallax. Yeah, it was great. I just loved the Sinestro storyline and the whole Green Lantern core. What they bring and all the crazy villains that they are got. And there's also cool villains. I mean, heroes from the Green. You have Stewart's. The black is I want to say Patrick Stewart, but that's not it. Why am I forgetting his name? John Stewart.
John, yeah.
Yeah, John Stewart was great, and I love Guy Gardner, oh man, he was nuts. And then Kyle Rayner, the latest Green Lantern came about. Yeah, I mean, I love all those guys. Yeah,
Yeah, and I agree with Dave's original statement that a good villain is a villain that makes the hero exist or does a thing. And you see with a lot of heroes having this polar opposite. And I don't mean anti-Flash to Flash or a Venom to Spider-Man, because that's just a copy and they reversed. No, I really mean like the Carnage against Earthling. That's a perfect opposite, those villains. But then you have the Rogue Gallery, and there are a lot of good villains there as well. Where was I going with this story?
What do you guys think of Mysterio?
Well, that's an example. He's not an arch enemy of Spider-Man. He doesn't. If it's only Spider-Man and Mysterio, you would be bored quite quickly. In opposite to the Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was that. Sorry for interrupting. That
no,
or Dr. Octopus or the Green Goblin was the arch enemy or the best arch enemy of Spider-Man. I believe those two go neck and neck.
But I like Mysterio in some senses, but I think I have something against these villains with illusion powers, like Arcade from the X-Men, I believe it's called.
No, Arcade didn't have illusion powers.
No, but
built this maniac.
He could create robots. Yeah,
but also the son of Xavier. I don't know. I like him as a villain, but I think Mysterio grew a lot, and I do like the interpretation in the latest Spider-Man movie.
Well,
to be honest, that he also has a team around, a special effects team, and I really like that they made his costume look like a motion cap costume. That's perfect in this age.
Yeah,
I think maybe Mysterio was its time ahead.
Could be.
I think the movie version was pretty cool. Yeah.
I agree. I
don't like the Spider-Man movie version, but Mysterio was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I have the opposite. I mean, I don't know. I'm as you know, I'm more of a purist. I like Quentin Beck, as Mysterio in the comics, especially the part that he was drawn by Todd McFarlane. That was a great
perfect.
Yeah, that was great. I love his costume, but I want to just go away from the whole movie thing, because I don't think movies does comic villains and superheroes justice, in my opinion.
Good plan.
Also, only because they die at the end of the movie, and I think this is stupid.
Yeah,
they should get rid of this old notion that villains need to die at the end of the movies. Yeah. They lost so many good villains this way.
Yeah,
another villain that I think is underutilized, because he's a perfect contrast to the hero, is the leader.
The Hulk.
Exactly.
Is basically the Hulk, when instead of his strength, his intellect grows, and that's the perfect villain for the stupid Hulk.
Yeah, I agree.
Use him too often.
I like Abomination is like the Hulk, but then a bit smarter. But I agree that the leader is the perfect villain for the Hulk, the same as the Carnage, the perfect villain for Earthling, and the same that.
But they never really established that part. No. They never put the leader in the same role as the Joker versus Batman.
No, I think that he had a rough start, and he looked kind of lame with this big cone head, basically. I don't know. It could be aesthetics, but when he had this big, more brain-like head in the Todd McFarlane run of the Hulk, I think he had some good storylines there.
I love the long head.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this classic. I just love
Yeah.
my classics. I just can't help it. They are just so good.
It looks
You know?
crazy, but it works, man, for the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it works. The big brain works better. Like Hulk has
But it
big
was a little bit
muscles,
on the
so he has
nose.
a big brain and not a long head. It's just like a big penis on his head.
Well, for
Oh.
me, it's exactly the opposite because if you, I mean, a brain is actually what you think it would look like when the doll, is has that bubbly brain-like shape. But I don't know, just it brings something different to the table for me because the head is long instead of thick and bubbly. So yeah, but that's me. I love the aesthetic way more, and I'm not sure why I cannot find a color version of him instead of the
And
black and white.
Buscema drew a fantastic Hulk, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I googled it here. Where is he? Jesus, this is here. I love Sal
So,
Buscema. He's one of my
in that sense, like the leader to the Hulk,
yeah.
how is the Joker the perfect villain to Batman then? They're both, well, the Joker is clearly insane, but
Yeah.
Batman is not really mentally healthy.
No, but Batman is very analytical.
Yeah.
And the Joker's like chaos.
Chaos,
So
indeed.
that's a perfect contrast.
But oh yeah, and the Joker has a sense of humor, and Batman doesn't.
Yeah, the Batman is a bit too serious. That's right.
But also the Green Goblin, that's different. That's difficult. I mean, because some, like the Flash, Batman as well, Spider-Man as well, they have great rogue galleries, and we kind of view the Joker to Batman, greatest villain, Green Goblin to Spider-Man. But how is Green Goblin then the perfect villain to Spider-Man? Spider-Man would be, about responsibility and about great power. What's the opposite of that? How is the Joker just disconnecting the personal ties to Spider-Man and Peter Parker? How is he the perfect
Goblin.
villain?
Well, maybe he just isn't, because I don't think that every villain should be the exact opposite. Because when I look at Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, they are basically the exact opposite, although they are exactly the same. They have great intellect, and Dr. Doom, he's a monarch, and Reed Richards is a father and has a family, and they complement each other with their intellect, but not with their goals. When it comes to Green Goblin, well, Green Goblin, the original one, has, killed Gwen Stacy. So I think there's a lot of stake here. So and then also Peter is befriended with Harry Osborn, the son of his arch nemesis.
Yeah, that's why he's a good villain.
Connection there.
That's what I mean. That's why he's a great villain for Spider-Man, because of the personal connections. But cut those. And how is he? How is he the Joker to Batman? How is he the Joker to Spider-Man? My favorite is the Hobgoblin. I think he's better than the Green Goblin, but he has no really personal ties to Peter Parker at the beginning, and I thought that is way more exciting as well. We didn't know who the Hobgoblin was for years and years, and then we find out, and it was reconned, and there was suspense, but
yeah,
it still was a good.
That it was reconned because it was Ned Leeds, right? Was it?
Or was it Ben Kingsley?
Exactly. Yeah,
I still don't know.
Ben Kingsley as well. Jesus. They bring Ned Leeds back, by the way, from the dead. Jesus Christ, in the newest Spider-Man. So suck that.
Why?
I don't know.
Does he look like this?
Years.
Does he look like the movie version? Then it's double weird.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
But sometimes I have this question with this perfect rogues. How is one better than the other one? In this vast rogue gallery sometimes.
Yeah, well, you can say it with Dr. Octopus as well. There's not also a connection with him and Peter Parker. I mean, not in the original kind of sense when it comes to original stories. I mean, he was just a scientist that go crazy. And then, Spider-Man, hunted him, and they, get in a fight. And then slowly, because of, storylines, and he was actually also almost getting married to Aunt May. That was funny. And then I don't know, they just became arch enemies, and he was just great. I mean, he was a fat nerd. I mean, he looks like a fat nerd. Sorry for nerds. I'm a nerd as well, but but
I'm
he has
fat as well.
the goggles. Yeah, he was bigger. He has that bowl head cut. It was a little bit weird, but at the same time, he was a brilliant genius. Well, he still is, not was, but is. I don't know. It just sometimes you don't have to have a personal connection with super villains or superheroes to become a great villain. I think
It's good story writing. It's just making a complex villain that's not about just conquering the world. You need to have a motive.
Yeah, you have to remember that most of these villains, these classic villains, were created in the day where every month they needed a new villain. So basically the villain of the month. And later on, these stories became more complex and interconnected. So so a lot of these connections were established later on.
In that sense, who is the better villain for Daredevil, Bullseye or Kingpin?
Kingpin. Well, yeah, that's a good one.
Because Bullseye
time,
has perfect eyesight, where Daredevil has none.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them, but when it comes to the most known, indeed, it was Kingpin was more of a crime lord at the time, and well, Bullseye is more of an assassin.
Yeah, so he's not really a villain. He's like the Winter Soldier. He's paid. He has different motives. He doesn't have personal motives to the villain, to the hero. I mean, where Kingpin maybe has.
Yeah.
And Matt Murdock is fighting for the law as a lawyer, and Kingpin is in the secret life like this big kingpin boss of crime, while in his separate life he's a business guy. So there's a duality, there's a contradiction between those two.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you need different villains with from different angles and different goals and motives, that to keep it interesting. And Pom is here. Pom's back. Welcome.
Hey, Pom's back.
Hey, Pom's back.
And he says Bullseye works for Kingpin. So yeah.
Yeah, but didn't it become personal between Bullseye and Daredevil at some point? Or Bullseye is just he's a crazy Australian, right?
Yeah.
So.
You know who the biggest villain of Spider-Man is? J. Jonah Jameson, when he was working at the Bugle.
Right. Yeah, when he was
all the time in the newspapers.
Yeah, now he's best friends with Peter, right?
Yeah, I mean, I miss those old classic comics when Peter was just a photographer. That he went to the Daily Bugle with what's her name, Betty Brant and Gloria.
Ned Leeds as well.
Ned Leeds. I just miss those days, man. Those were the best.
So what about the villains that are not, exactly contrary? Like they said, they needed to invent every villain a lot of times. And while there are some villains that were invented were super great, but not have a specific hero in mind to fight. Like I love, for example, the Titania?
Titania?
Yeah,
Titania?
Yeah.
I just love her as a villain.
Yeah.
She is so strong and beautiful. Right? Sorry?
From She-Hulk? That's what you mean?
Yeah, I first saw her in one of the Spider-Man comics when the Axe of Vengeance was going on.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. She was created at the what's the world? Murder World? No, not Murder World, but when the Beyonder, or was the storyline with the Beyonder.
Oh yes, he was a Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret Wars, and she was befriended with Volcana, who was a girlfriend of Molecule Man at the time of Volcano. Yeah, she was great at the time.
I really love her as a supervillain.
Yeah,
but she doesn't really have a hero to fight off, basically, or not that I know of.
She-Hulk, yeah, but She-Hulk always beats her. Well, not easy, but she was not really a threat to her, if I'm correctly. I could be wrong, but I miss those days when superheroes or supervillains actually were a real threat. I mean, only the big ones, like Magneto, like Red Skull, are threats. But what about the the ones that you say, like Titania, right? Or I don't know. Boomerang's
Yeah, or
probably-
the magic villain from Spider-Woman. How's he called? Also the villain of King Arthur.
Which one do you say? Again?
She's a magic user, witch.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel. She's an adversary of she's an adversary of Spider-Woman and of King Arthur and Merlin.
Oh, you mean
It's on the tip of
Morgan
my
Le Fay.
tongue.
Morgan Le Fay.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
She also appeared in a couple of issues in X-Men.
Thanks, Brian.
I just love her.
You know where she
Maybe
was the best? Maybe you remember the Avengers comic with George Paris.
Yes.
They did a reboot with the first that they go back in time somewhere, and they were all knights. All the superheroes were knights, even the villains. And Morgan Le Fay was holding some kind of magic sword or something that gave the illusion that they are in a different medieval world. Man, that was so great. George Paris was the best. Jesus, yeah.
There was is this the same storyline where the X-Men and Avengers, where Manhattan was transformed in a Conan world?
No,
and the villain of Conan kept Morgan Le Fay as a prisoner.
Yes,
he was so powerful. Yeah. He held her as a prisoner.
Yes,
I think with Charles Xavier they were kind of being in a hybrid. No, that's another villain. But she was there. She was prison.
Yeah, but that was another storyline. That was when Spider-Man was the only one who remembered the real world.
Yeah. And he got killed and tortured terribly.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
art by John Romita. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That one.
So,
yeah.
Do you guys have any favorite superhero teams?
Teams?
Yes.
Shouldn't we talk about villain teams then?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean villain teams.
Rogue Gallery, DC. Yeah, that's my favorite.
The Rogue Gallery.
Flash. Those are my favorite. They are more, in my opinion, when it comes to grounded. I mean, when you go to why am I forgetting his name with this flame? I have to look it up. With the Captain Cold, with the cold guns, they don't have any powers. They all have magic wands or technology. Like the Trickster, and they have flame weapons and cold weapons. It was great, man. And then with the Weather Wizard, he has just a staff that controls the weather. I don't know. It was so simple, but they gave the Flash a very, very hard time a lot. So yeah, Mirror Master, it's great stuff, man.
I like the UFOs. Just fun.
Yeah. Certainly. Oh man, I
just fun. Not to take them very seriously. Yeah, please show them. It's just fun because they're so outrageous, and
this is my favorite superhero group.
Yeah, they're just so weird.
Yeah.
But that's it. The Hulk was fun, then. It was outrageous adventures for the Hulk at that time.
This was great. These were basically four...
Can you blow up the picture?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Also art by Sal Buscema, by the way.
Yeah.
No. But they are basically... they went the same route as the Fantastic Four. They wanted powers, so they redid the entire process that the Fantastic Four went through. So with the spaceship through the cosmic storm, and they came back and they didn't have control over the power. So this this panel is actually from their first appearance.
And it's a nod to the Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
No, it's from the Hulk.
Yeah, but it's a homage.
Yeah.
It's a notch, blink to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. They mentioned the Fantastic Four, and they want to redo that entire process. But they meet the Hulk, and you see here that Ironclad isn't yet smooth. So his surface later on is smooth because he has the power to get really heavy. And in this issue, the powers get out of control, and he gets so heavy that he falls into the ground.
Yeah.
And the ground swallows him, and so when he later returns, the entire Earth has made his surface smooth. So very cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I also like what Pumspaka is saying. I mean, he says like the Serpent Society was great. The Frightful Four, yeah, I love that with the Wizard and Electro and Pastebot Pete. Well, it's not Pastebot Pete, but there was his first name, I believe. There was his second name. Well, it was with Sandman or with Thundra. Oh man, that was a great team.
Thundra. So what's the difference between Thundra and Titania?
Thundra is, if I remember correctly, she was an Amazon from a different world where the women were basically the rulers, let's say, no, that's not entirely true. I believe the men and the women were separated, and they come once in so many years together for the great crazy, if they call it, like mingling together for, the existence. But basically, they're a very dominant female race. Basically.
And that makes her cooler than Titania?
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, that's the difference. The Titania is created by machines by Dr. Doom.
That's why she's cooler.
That's your opinion.
And she looks better.
No. Titania, no. For me, no. Okay, no. I'm a big fan of Thundra. She is 7 foot, 20 foot, 100 foot tall Amazon. I don't know.
There is something, I have to admit. I think that's why She-Hulk's popular as well. There is something pretty sexy about tall women.
Yeah, with the big, long, flowy hair, red hair.
But like 2 meter women.
Yeah,
it's sexy.
Yeah, it looks really great. But I have to agree, Titania looks cool too.
Yeah, the Wrecking Crew is pretty cool. Yeah.
Doja Khan also has a really a good knowledge of villainous teams.
Oh, yeah. What? You got She-Hulk #1, Alec? Wow, that's great. You mean the real one when she just transformed into the She-Hulk for the first time after?
Yeah, I have her here as well somewhere.
Yeah, I got the Dutch version of #1. That's great.
Well, not in the display. It's underneath.
A lot of cool.
With the white with shirt.
Oh man, I forgot about that one. The Fist of Five was actually the villains of the Legions of Superhero, and they have some fantastic super villains. One of my favorite is, I believe, I forgot his name, but he has some kind of a death hand. When your hand touches you how do you say, disintegrates, Mano or something like that. And he has some kind of a helmet with gas in it from his home planet, so he can survive. Man, that was great. And yes, there's also a cyborg who was the leader, and there was a guy with an axe. I forgot those names. And then we have the Empress, who has a beautiful woman with green hair, and she has an orb that is quote unquote alive or not alive, but shoots green beams or something. And we have a giant monster that can shoot brain blast from his brain, and you can actually see his brain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. It's great shit.
The Hellfire Club. That was a cool team also.
It's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like, to be honest, the Sinister Six in a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Those are the coolest Spider-Man super villains. And I was wondering, doesn't Batman a very good, equal, maybe better rogue gallery? Why does Batman has a super villain team that from his rogue gallery banded together to defeat Batman? Is there a thing? You should probably know.
Wait a minute, I made a mistake. I just looked it up. Fist of Five was not what I meant to be. Fist of Five was a Teen Titans villains. I made a mistake. There was also a guy with a brain.
Whoa!
So, yeah.
Somebody called Marinus.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the Fearsome Five. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Dr.
I
Light,
was.
Mehmet,
Oh,
Shin,
man.
Gizmo, and Simon. Yeah, I know
I'm-
you guys.
I am nominating Dojo Kun for the no prize.
Yeah. I made a mistake. Jesus Christ, I couldn't forget that.
Yeah.
Great job, Joe.
Yeah,
You
the
couldn't.
Fatal Five, and it's
The
all
Fatal
five.
Five, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the Fearsome Five, but man.
Right. Yeah.
So we have hero teams made from teens, like the Teen Titans.
Yes.
And we have super villains that are teens, or super villain teen teams?
What?
Are
Can you repeat
those
that? Say that 10 times.
super villain teen teams?
Yeah.
Super villain teen teams.
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Did we found a opportunity to create one?
Okay, let me. While you think about it, I'm going to show the Fatal Five for those who do not know.
You had Gen 13 was a teen team, right? And
Yeah.
you fought a different teen team called DV8.
Yes.
But I don't think they were technically villains, really.
And the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, right.
Do they have
it mentions the Hellions?
Hellions? Oh, yeah. Foes of the New Mutants, indeed.
Do you need to?
Yeah.
Dave, you need to give me permission to share it, or?
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm not seeing anything.
Hellions. Yeah.
Can you see this?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the Fearsome Five. That's what I meant. You have, I believe, Mano
No, this
here.
is the Fatal Five.
Fatal Five. Yeah. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Fatal Five. Fearsome Five. Yeah.
Fearsome 4, Fatal 5.
Man, those are so
Bananas.
badass. I mean, this guy with the axe can cleave atoms into.
Cool.
Yeah, those are. Well, this is more the cartoony version. They also have been in an animated movie from DC. Yeah, I just you guys need to check that out. Ooh, this is from Mike Grell. Wow, this looks great. Yeah, Fatal Five. Check it out. They are fantastic. They are DC. Even Superman, battled them multiple times. Even though he was when he was Superboy. Can I show it here? That's probably not a good picture. But yeah, okay, that's what I just wanted to show. Fatal Five, not Fearsome Five.
Right. Yeah, cool team. I never read anything they were in, so.
Oh man, that's so great.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, guys. I had, before we started, I had found this website with a listing of 100 villains.
What?
just in case we ran out of villains, we can go through it if you want, or if you think it's enough for today, then we can leave it here.
Well, you can show something, right?
Yeah, sure.
But wait a minute. Speaking of villains, is the Punisher a villain?
No.
Because he has a rope.
He's an anti-hero.
Is it?
He basically wants to protect the innocent and kill the criminals, even though his methods are questionable or right out immoral. But then again, that's what villains usually do. They want to have, they want to change something, but their methods are questionable. Yeah.
So basically, he could be a villain.
Depends on the hero he's fighting.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe it depends on you view what a villain is, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I know. I love the Punisher, by the way. I think Frank Castle is great, and his quote unquote villain is Jigsaw. I believe that's probably his most known or the biggest one.
Yeah.
Crazy villain, also mob boss, great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got from us, Mr.
All right. Let me share. Let me share. Here you go. Kapow! 100 comic book villains. Okay,
right.
so you can, you guys can tell me if you know them.
I know them all, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Oh, really? Well, let's see.
We'll find out. Here we go. So,
No, it doesn't work for me. No.
no.
I swipe left. Is this like a Tinder? Are we doing
Yeah,
this
yeah,
like
sure.
Tinder?
So left.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Swipe left.
I like him in the Hulk, you know, with the creation of, with the resurrection of Mr. Blonsky, the abomination part. Okay, well let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swipe left. Fing Fang Foom. No. That's an Iron Man
left.
villain.
Yeah,
No.
left.
No, does this mean you don't know anything about it, or you just don't like the
I know he's a fought Iron Man multiple times. So he comes from space. Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Jason Weingart, X-Men villain from the Hellfire Club. He's great, by the way. He was in the original team with Magneto.
Yeah, you would date him? You swipe right?
Let me see. Modok is lame.
Modok is lame.
Also lame. Okay, so
Yeah, lame.
lame.
Okay.
Lame. Okay. The Violator.
No,
Yeah,
no, it doesn't. No, lame. No,
Lame.
left. I don't want to date him.
Oh, okay. So let me know which one you want to date.
The
I
Sparrow.
never-
Arrow.
Yeah.
Never
So
heard of
who's this guy?
Yeah.
The Sparrow was. This is not his original form, by the way. His original form, you see his fin like this, but the original form was a fin like this. And he was way more smaller. He was he's kind of some kind of an alien. I don't know his deal, but he was a I believe a Justice League villain. And then he reinvented himself. He became muscular, and he has some third eye in the middle that can take over.
Yeah, it says here he's a Justice League villain. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Explaining already takes too long. I already swipe left.
Yeah. Omega Red, Wolverine villain. I like him. him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
It's like Whiplash, right? He has Whiplash powers.
Well, it seems it can suck energy or life force out of you, but at the same time infect you or something and makes you sick.
Is it a Whiplash or a Constrictor? He also has these things coming out of the arms.
It seems that it's part of his flesh, but I could be wrong.
Oh, one of them doesn't.
America's greatest crime destroyer. Okay, that's cool.
All right, left.
All right.
Annihilus. Yes.
I date him. Yeah. Right swipe.
Great stuff. He's a great villain.
All right.
It would be an awesome date.
Omni-Man from Image Universe. He's basically evil Superman from space.
Yeah. Later in the series, he kind of redeems himself. But he starts off as the bad guy. Yeah.
Well, he's in the television series. He started off as a good guy, then as a bad guy, and now he's saying he's really going to a good guy person.
After he murders his friends.
Eventually, it's.
All right. Well, it saves me a second season of watching the Invincible.
Yeah. So for those who not know, Omni-Man is the father of Invincible. So yeah, there's that.
Well,
Invincible's a great superhero comic as well. Definitely one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I only saw the Netflix series and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And there's one other cool villain in Invincible called Battle Beast.
Who?
Battle Beast.
Yeah.
The wolf guy. Oh man.
Yeah, he was voiced by Worf from Star Trek, Michael Byrne.
Oh, man.
Yeah. His voice is amazing voice.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. I wish he had more gigs.
Yes.
Parallax.
Yeah. Parallax. Okay, cool. The Adversary. Who's this?
It's a dumb villain.
The Adversary. I know the
Marinus
Adversary.
knows them all. So
wait a minute. I'm not gonna look the Adversary. I know there's an Adversary from Marvel, but I know there's also an Adversary from DC. Well, you got me there. I do not know.
What's going on, Roland?
I have cat problems.
All right.
They are like messing with me the whole time during the stream.
Fables. Okay.
It's from Fables.
Yeah, I never read Fables, so I cannot.
No, me neither.
I'm sorry, guys. I have cat problems. They are messing with me the whole stream. So I have two supervillains here now.
So we all know Carnage.
Yeah, I thought he was cool in the beginning.
Yeah, I
beginning
love the
or
Maximum
anymore?
Carnage storyline, but after that, it fizzled out for me.
Yeah, I really loved Maximum Carnage, but that should be finished there. But then again, it's comics. You know better. They should milk it out, which is
So,
fine.
do we give it a left or do we give it a right?
I think it would be nice for one night stand, but then swipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's Shade?
Oh, is that not?
That's a DC villain.
Yeah.
Shade
Oh,
is
yeah.
master manipulator of shadows.
Very shady,
Yep.
right?
Okay.
I believe he
It
was.
seems he's a villain from The Flash.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
among others.
He can manipulate shadows using a magical cane.
Wow.
He's an
Yeah, the Flash would have definitely problems with him defeating him.
Cool trick, man. Dojo Kun doesn't like Carnage. Too many symbiotes.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, me too. It's
No more symbionts.
You have
I
Toxin.
do the
the newer ones.
No.
Toxin.
No, I don't like Toxin or anti-venom.
All
No.
right.
No. Be gone. Be gone with them.
Grendel. Cool.
That's a good one.
Hunter Rose.
Yeah.
I never read this one.
Yeah, me neither, but I know who he is because he has a very iconic look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Grendel. I know Grendel, but he looks the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know nothing about this.
I love this
Electro.
It's silly.
He's silly in the old ones, but I think he has nice upgrades. Not in the Spider-Man films, but in the comics, I think he upgraded nicely.
Really?
Yeah, but nah, it's a left for me.
And the villain version was stupid.
No, me neither.
Yeah, the film version was stupid. I don't know.
I think he's very powerful. I like him. Yeah, I give it a right.
This costume is cool, man. I just like that silly costume.
Yeah.
The Governor. He's from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one I happen to know.
Yeah, it would be an interesting date.
Okay. There's Mysterio. We talked about him.
Yeah, I give it a
right for me. I will give it a right. Yeah.
Me too.
All right. Dr.
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah, I love Dr. Light. He's a bastard. DC villain. He did some despicable things to Sue Dibney, who was the wife of an elongated man.
Did he put her in the fridge? Is this guy?
No, that was Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern.
Oh, so if he didn't put her in the fridge, it's a left for me.
No. Well,
I like my supervillains nasty.
Yeah, Grigory Rasputin. That's a Hellboy villain. Well, it stands over there because it was an easy one. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know much about him, really. So who is Dr. Sivana?
From Shazam, or the first Captain Marvel villain. I do not know him very well, but I heard he's a cool villain, so I give it the benefit of the doubt. I've given swiping him to the right.
Okay. The Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, left for me. Sorry, right for me.
What?
No, this is one of the other villains of whom you can say that he's a perfect contrast to the hero, because Tony Stark is about technology.
Yeah.
And this is magic. So
polar opposite.
Contrast.
The comic version definitely a right for me.
All right.
Not all stories, but
Dojo Comic has something to say.
Wait. I love these conversations, but cannot stay for 80 more. All right. Yeah. That's right, man.
Okay, well, Prometheus is a DC villain. He came later in the 19s. He was fun. He tricked the Justice League, by the way. Mirror Master, of course, one of my favorites.
Yeah, we talked about him.
Can we do 20 more Dojo Cons that are acceptable?
No, this is a left for me, Lady Deathstrike. It's just a Wolverine female ripoff stern villain. Go on.
I give it a right.
Scroll.
Proteus, X-Man.
Yeah.
I give it a left. I don't like him.
No, definitely left. I can't turn this left more than it's.
Yeah, this one is lame.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
chat.
lame.
Chat. Do you want to continue, or shall we stop it here? Is it too many? Magog.
DC villain. He's
Magog,
great. He killed Superman many times over in what's the storyline with Alex Ross and Mark Waid in the future? Jesus
Well,
Christ.
killing Superman
Kingdom
isn't
Come.
that difficult. There's a lot of villains killed him, so
No,
not special
he
anymore.
killed him in a very gruesome way.
Okay, Pump Spec wants to do the top 20. Sure.
Okay, let's scroll from 20 to 0. Good ideas.
Here we
Tom.
go.
Oh, yeah,
20.
that's a good
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
right.
for me. Right for me.
Right.
I love to
Juggernaut.
take him. Yes.
Nah, left for me.
No. In the Spider-Man comic, he was amazing.
Nah, he's boring for me.
Juggernaut is awesome. Come on, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
love to see it.
I would like to be friends with benefits with her.
Yeah,
Whoa.
indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
I love old school Brainiac, so I give it
Yeah.
a yeah.
Okay.
Brainiac, sure. Black Adam.
Yes.
No, left.
Yes,
No,
Black
no,
Adam's so cool. He's a
Get him is cool.
bastard.
Okay. There we have
Oh, yeah.
Sinestro.
No. Everything related to Green Lanterns is lame for me.
You're not a fan of that.
Go back to your
that,
MCU movies, man.
Entire concept.
Oh, what we're missing. Red Skull, yes, to the right. I love Red Skull.
Yeah. Right for me as well.
Okay.
Right.
Wait a minute. Why is it Norman Osborn and not?
Yeah.
Green Goblin.
That's
Because you have more Green Goblins. You have a lot of Green Goblins.
Yeah, but there's only one Green. Okay. Well, okay.
Oh, Harry, yeah. Well, this is.
Well,
I would love. I'm really exciting to see. If you didn't watch the new Spider-Man trailer, go watch it. I really looking forward to see William Dafoe as the Green Goblin again.
You're such a fanboy, man. You're a simp.
It's the first time we get to see
I am.
the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah. Two-Face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a great complex villain. I like him.
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Definitely
yes,
right.
for me.
Yeah.
Swipe left.
Left.
Yeah.
Crazy.
She's hot, but she's not a villain for me.
Well, this is hot. He's hot. Right for me.
Yeah, me too.
Dark
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I loved her in the beginning. Now she's overrated.
Yeah. This is a right when you start it, and then later on you think, I think after some dates, I should swipe left.
Yeah.
But
Dark
first,
Phoenix
at
saga
first
was-
glance,
What?
it's definitely right. But
Don't
then,
take it in crazy.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Green
do
Goblin is right. Okay.
the rest of the 8.
8. Loki.
Difficult. He's so overused now with his own series and with the Marvel movies. I like him in some comics, but
It's too popular.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
basically, yes. I mean, I love old school Loki. I mean, the real Loki, from Kirby era and the 90s when he was proper villain instead of this pussy that he's right now. So, yeah, I'm going to swipe left for this one.
For the
Right.
comics, until the 90s, definitely a right.
Yep. After that, in the dumpster.
Okay.
Ra's al
Ra's al
Ghul.
Ghul.
I like
Right.
I really like the Batman movie version. I don't really know him from the comics, so
Yeah, I give it a big right.
I like to date Liam Neeson more than this guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Darksyde. Darksyde is.
Now
right.
left for me.
Why is he 6? Don't tell me that Thanos is number 1 or something. I would be mad if that's the case.
Yeah.
The Mad Titan. Galactus, definitely right. I love this character.
Yeah, me too.
He's
But
just a
not
force of
really a
nature.
villain. He's not a villain.
No. It's a force of nature. He's just there,
Yeah,
part of the universe.
Yeah, he's cool. It's a cool concept. Then we,
yeah, Luthor.
like-
Yeah, right.
Be number 1 in my opinion. We'll go.
I like your right.
Dr. Doom. Yes.
I think we all agree this is the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a super cool villain. Yeah.
Okay, 2 more to go. Joker.
2, Joker.
Difficult.
I'm gonna get mad, man, if that's the case. What I'm gonna think it's gonna happen.
So who will be number 1?
All right, let's go. Magneto.
Oh, really? Okay.
Magneto.
Wow. Yeah,
Woo!
Which version? This is the ultimate version, right?
Well, the original, of course.
Yeah.
From back in the day, not what they are doing now. You know, when he was in the when he battled the X-Men with the Jim Lee cover.
Yeah,
That was,
okay.
was great. Yeah.
Right,
But also
yeah.
before that with what was the group he was in? I forgot the name. With
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
exactly. You know, with
I
Wanda.
would like to date the whole group. Have an orgy.
Yeah.
What's up with you tonight, man? Okay. So Dojo Kun says that Galactus is not a villain.
Nope.
I agree with Dojo.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
So
Okay.
It was fun. I like this this list, and we go through it.
Yeah.
Yoshi does all the work for us.
Like it's a kind of speed dating thing. Going through all the villains.
I was amazed that there was no female villains in it.
Yeah, but we didn't do a
Well,
whole
we
list.
skipped
Ah,
many,
true,
so
true.
I don't know. Well, we had
So
the
what
Dark
is that?
Phoenix,
Okay. Let me rephrase that. What is your favorite female villain?
Calamity.
I
Sorry.
agree with Dave.
People need to
Yeah.
hear it.
Now let's do the traditional from Marvel or DC, or maybe from Image Comics or from Dark Horse. Which one do you like the most?
Difficult.
Tough one.
Maybe the chat.
I'm back on Marvel guy, but maybe the joke should be number 1.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Ken wants very complicated relationship with Batman. Yes. So, but she's not a villain. She was that a little bit in the beginning. She was more of a burglar, but she does some naughty stuff, but that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know which villainess that was, but in one of the comics of Web of Spider-Man, there was one female supervillain, and she kicked Spider-Man in the nuts. And I thought that was so cool. Nobody hit him in the nuts.
Okay.
But I don't know which villain that was. I don't know. That's yeah. You had this at the who was that? At the Thunderbolts. You had, or the Dark Avengers. You had this female evil Captain Marvel-esque.
Oh, you mean Carla, the psychiatrist called Moonstone?
Sorry.
Moonstone.
Moonstone. Yeah.
Moonstone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was Moonstone. Yeah.
It became later Meteor. One of my favorites is Enchantress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mystique.
Mystique. Viper. From Hydra. I love that as well. Madam Viper. You don't see her much anymore.
No.
Cheetah.
Poison Ivy, by the way,
Sorry?
is a good villain.
Yes, Poison Ivy as well. That's a great pick. Mystique is
Cheetah from Wonder Woman. I always thought she was not the right villain for Wonder Woman.
No,
she's kind of underpowered to go against Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I like Hela as well.
Hela, yeah.
And Trenton and Enchantress more. I like her more.
Yeah, Enchantress is
it's kind of a similar. Yeah, she's more sexy as well.
I also liked what's her name? She's now one of the good X-Men. The White Queen, Emma Frost.
Oh yeah.
Before she was, when she was with the Hellfire Club, I like that.
By the way, that's
Madame Mask.
Madame Mask, that's a good one from Iron Man.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
You have plenty of villains that got so popular that they became heroes, like Venom and the White Queen and Magneto even. But are there villains that started out as heroes?
Yes, Captain Marvel, the female one.
Yeah, right.
I agree. I
agree.
think I think even in the Marvel movies, he is a villain.
Yeah, she's gone.
We were watching a supervillain at work, not a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't see the difference no more. These people that make these movies, they don't see the difference, man.
Ah, I forgot a couple. Lady Shiva from Batman.
Leslie Lar.
Silver Banshee. I'm sorry, Leslie Lar. Who is that? Let me Google that. Medusa.
It's apparently a villain from Supergirl.
Leslie Lar.
Cheshire.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's an old one.
Yeah,
That's a cool one.
Yeah, the Jet know what
from
they're
the
talking about.
60s, from the Phantom Zone. That's great. Cheshire, yes, she's great too.
it depends. Sometimes you have these villains or characters are introduced as villains or adversaries for a hero group or hero.
Yeah.
And then later they are heroes, like the Inhumans, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But they were never really villains. They were just, people or people with superpowers that had other goals than the hero, but they weren't villainous, right? The Inhumans were not villainous, or am I wrong? And you have more villains that were misunderstood by the heroes. Are they then villains that turned hero? Like the Rocket guy, this guy from Spider-Man, red gold suit, and he was on a skateboard with rockets.
Oh yeah, you mean is it Red Rockets? No.
Yeah, it could be
Rocket Racer.
The Rocket Racer, and he was kind of introduced as a villain, but he's not a villain.
No, but he was fun to look at. He has some outrageous costume.
I think they should have gone all the way with Cyclops. I think Cyclops is.
Yeah, he's the perfect villain.
Yeah.
When they turn him bad, they should go all out with him, man.
Exactly. They because we knew this guy for decades as the leader of the X-Men. You know.
And Speedball turned villain.
Yeah, they kind of made him a completely different character. You're technically right. Yeah.
Cardiac was the same. He wasn't really a villain. He just had different goals than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't think Cardiac was ever a villain.
Yeah, Alec has a great one. Deadpool. He was indeed a villain. And then he turned, the goofy nutcase that he is now.
Wasn't Wolverine started out as a villain for the Hulk?
For the Hulk, yeah.
He was not created for the X-Men.
Yeah.
I think he was created as an adversary for the Hulk.
Yeah. With Wendigo. I love that scene. Yeah. It's great stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're nearing the 90 minutes, so
yeah, let's wrap it up, guys.
I think we had a good chat about super villains.
Yeah,
and,
I like that. It was a good one.
So I think we can. Wait a minute. Bounce back. Not really. Canada sent Wolverine. All right.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good one. Oh, did you do you know what they are doing with She-Hulk right now? What they are doing?
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I'm going.
It's trash. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
man,
I don't care anymore, man. It's okay. I want to say thanks to the chat for being here, for watching, and for your comments and your questions. And
you were very active. Thank you.
Interaction. Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome.
I also want to thank Roland and Marinus for another stream, for another good chat.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we might be back next week, maybe in 2 weeks. We don't really know. It's difficult to plan, but we will be back with another episode and another topic. And if you have suggestions for topic, you can hit me up on Twitter, Genuine Comics, or you can hit Marinus up
at Darksyde _is_comics.
Exactly, and give us your suggestions, and we'll chat about it. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share the video, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for coming.